back to the Over the Shoulder podcast, episode 34. This week we're back again to go over the New Japan / Ring of Honor Impact Midcard titles. Unfortunately, this week Rob isn't coming on. He is feeling a bit under the weather, but he will be back for next episode. So, Rob, I hope you feel better for next week. Thankfully, though, I do have two great guest co-hosts to come on to help fill the void for Rob. First, of course, someone who's been on here several times, Belt Addicts Anonymous. Admin, of course, Brandon. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thanks, Max, for having me on, man. It's a pleasure. Always fun coming on here. I've been gone for a minute, but I feel like I'm back now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm really excited to get into these belts. There's a lot of them that definitely get into detail with, so can't wait to do it. And we got especially a newcomer to the group. And first timer, I believe, on the show. So, introduce him, man.
No, I'm super excited. Glad to have you on. I couldn't think of anyone better to have on this episode. But, of course, we have a second guest, first time on the podcast. Of course, also Belt Addicts Anonymous admin, Kevin Very. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the fans.
Thanks for the introduction. Well, you just introduced me. My name's Kevin. Nice to meet y'all. Pleasure to be here. This is first, and would love to see how this goes.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, you're a great collector. You see big collection behind his back, huge collector, and all official. So Rob for sure loves that. So let's start off with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and start off with the IWGP Intercontinental title, the version one, the original one, first held by MVP, and this one's interesting. I don't like the color. I don't like the bronze too much. It's done kind of cool, honestly. Like the bronze penny look. I never liked that, especially in like the penny tags. On this though, it looks decent. It looks like an aged antique almost. That being said, I don't love it as a prize. It just seems like a third place. Don't really like that. The design's decent, I guess. Intercontinental. I don't like the leather cut too much, like the main plate, like the weird shape. Don't really like that too much. Seems kind of bland, but also very almost busy with main plate and side plates. Don't like it too much. I wouldn't own this personally, but what do you guys think, Kevin?
Well, in my opinion, this is not the best looking looking design. Yeah, I can't say that I'm a huge fan of the bronze, but it is what it is. I mean, when it comes to the history of the championship, I would say that it does have the IWGP does have a fairly substantial history behind it, despite it not having a very long history. I mean, until recently, the championship came to an end when it was unified with the World Championship. That being said, with this design, it leaves more. Maybe they could have designed it better, but I do like that it has. We'll see the typical represents parts of the world, just kind of like the plate. The plates are unique, and each plate's unique in their own rights, from what I remember. But that being said, I think that the next version is much better than this one.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, it's okay. What do you think, Brandon?
Honestly, this is the first time I think I've seen this belt. That means how long has it been around?
I believe maybe.
MVP won it in 2010. No, 2011.
Yeah,
2010 he left MVP.
Yeah, didn't even know this belt existed. Honestly, I'm glad I didn't, because I definitely would have been focused in on it. But yeah, especially like what you said, the bronze, and it doesn't seem like it's deep etching either.
No,
it's kind of this very, very thin etching. Just I like the bronze just how that dirty look to it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if it was on like a white strap or a different
Yeah.
color strap, but that's a no, man, for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think on a white strap it could really pop. The one thing I do like is the font. I really like the font on this. I was noticing that, but I hate how like the New Japan logo, like the lion, blends in. You can barely even tell it's there. Yeah, it's okay. I'm glad they moved on.
Yeah,
With
barely
it.
see it.
Yeah, no, it's not great. I'm glad they moved on though to this version, the white version, commonly known. Everyone knows this version. Barely anyone knows the V1 because it's very forgettable. Um, this version, some people hate it. I love it though. This screams New Japan Pro Wrestling to me. When I think of New Japan belts, I think of course, the V4, and then second comes, of course, the IC. This is exactly what an IC needs to be. All the continents on each side plate. I love that. I love the domed globes. The main plate looks gorgeous with that almost the similar banners as the IWGP V4. It has the same similar design, but it's also different with a different shape. I love the dual plated, like the silver, the gold, the IWGP silver. I love it. I really do love this version. The version that Jericho's holding looks beat to shit, but still amazing. It's pretty sad that how before the Milliken version looks amazing, but the second version that they used when after it was destroyed by Naito, the bootleg version. See there, the globes aren't even domed on the bottom left. Nameplate looks flat as fuck. No tooling, just stitching. Looks like shit. But yeah. What do you think, Kevin?
At first glance, when I first saw the championship, I'm like, oh wow, it looks just like the V4, but it has it's on a white strap. But looking at it closely, so I love this how the side plates, the dome design on the side plates, and uh, at, let's see, this version I think is more iconic than the original version in its own right, and like I said, much better design. Uh, the, there's this the advantage and disadvantage of it being on a white strap. It's always going to be prone to getting dirty. It happens with every colored strap. You avoid that shit whenever it's on a black strap. That's what I think there. But as far as yeah, I've always liked the way this version of the championship looked.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, it's my opinion on this.
No, it's a nice belt. What do you think, Brandon, on the V2 IWGP IC?
Uh, I definitely love it. I actually had one in my collection. It was a beautiful belt. Um, yeah, I agree. The version that now it's just it looks horrible. They just need to revamp it, redo it, get the, get some better tooling on it. Just fix it up and then reintroduce it. But I understand the history. That's the one thing you get with these owners of these companies. They don't like to switch the belts up a lot, other than AEW. But they like to keep the history of the belt, and and I understand. So, I like it. It is what it is. People just have to deal with it. But yeah, it's a thumbs up for me.
Yeah, no, one thing I don't like is like the tooling on the strap. This belt needs to be re-leathered. Like, you see the strap is like bubbling almost. Like, that's just cheap, not actual. Leather does not bubble, okay? Your leather should not bubble. That is not leather. That's stitched on, no tooling. Nameplate's flat as fuck. If they revamped it and didn't, I would loved it. You see the top right corner is the actual one. Beat the shit, but it still looks better than the bootleg. But it's a decent belt. Moving on to the IWGP US title. This was introduced, I believe, in 2017 or 18. And I
2017.
17, yeah. I have mixed feelings about this belt. I love the design. I just hate how massive the main plate is and how tiny the side plates are, especially in this picture. It just looks comically huge compared to the side plates. Either those side plates need to be bigger or that main plate needs to be shrunk. Because, like, it just looks stupid how you have that massive main plate and those tiny little side plates. It doesn't make sense to me. Disregarding that, I love the design on the main plate. It screams US. You see that US flag. I love it. I love how it's like a vertical, almost diagonal flag. I love that. Of course, the silver accents, the silver logo at the top on the side plates. I love the belt. Red strap, not my favorite color for a strap, but they did it pretty nicely on this one. It's a nice deep red, nice star tooling going around in between the main plate and the side plates. Nice clamshell tooling going around. The shape, the cut of the leather going around the main plate, not my favorite. There's so many grooves. I get why they did it. It's following the main plate, but it's not even that close to the main plate, so it kind of looks weird to me. I think if they did one uniform cut, it would look a bit better. Um, I love the design though. What do you think, Kevin?
Similar to yours, I thought that the main plate is way bigger than the side plates should be. But I mean, it's still a unique design, a well designed belt in its own right. It screams the United States. I've always liked the silver etchings, or for the IGP and the US. I probably would have. I'm not a huge fan of the red strap myself, but it does make it unique for the U.S. Championship. That being said, as far as design goes, it's unique in its own right, but it leaves. I wonder how they may redesign this one someday, because I feel like they may or may not keep it this way for now.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I saw a concept that they made. I'm not sure who made it, and it looked really good. But maybe they'll use that design in the future. What do you think, Brandon?
I actually like this belt. Another belt I had in my collection. It's huge. They do need to, again, repaint it or re-leather it, upgrade it. But the history of it, everybody that's touched that belt. I'm a big Jay White fan. He's so Kenny Omega. So everybody that's come across this belt, I'm definitely a big fan of it. So yeah, I love it. Thumbs up.
Yeah, no, and of course you said short history, but great history, great champion. Jay White, like you said, Kenny Omega, Kenta, of course John Moxley. It's a great history behind it. Now let's move on to the never open weight title. I I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the tooling. I don't like the main plate's fine. I don't mind the main plate. Side plates, I don't know. I don't think the side plates fit the main plate at all. The leather looks like dog shit in my opinion. I mean, it's done well, but I just hate the spacing between the side plates and the main plate. The spacing is so stupid. Like, Milliken, what the fuck were you doing? Were you too busy scamming people? You forgot to fucking measure the distance between the side plates and the main plate? Because that is ridiculous. It just looks stupid. Um, the it just looks so long. It just looks dumb. It really does not look good. Um, Main plates, I like the red little circle. It almost reminds me of the Japanese flag, which is probably what they were going for. The white banners look pretty cool. Nevers, decent. I don't like the scratch up look. I don't like it on the AEW belt. I don't like it on this. The grapplers on the side look fine, but like I said, like the longer side plates look weird. Leather looks dumb. Not my favorite. What do you think, Kevin?
Let's see. I'm not a huge fan of this championship, but uh, just like you said, I'm not a huge fan of the banners. I Side plates are all right. I don't know why this belt had to be a three plater, but I'm not a huge fan of three plate belts. That not I mean, with the exception of the big gold, but that's I feel like most belts should probably have 5 or 6.
100%. Yeah, I agree. I think it looks way better just like the layout.
Like you said, I do. Side plates are the design of side plates are all right. And I think you're right. With the little red circle, they're probably going, repping Japan. as far as I'm concerned, this is just another mid card championship that they needed that for the last several years.
Yeah, I don't like it. Brandon, what do you think?
You guys might not agree, but yeah, I had this in my personal collection. I had my maker. I had it made for me. I love the belt. It was a great belt. I sold it to Frank Paul, but yeah, again, the spacing though for it was a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I saw it personally at taping when Jay White had it, and it's beat to shit. So
oh, you met Jay White with it. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's the last New Japan belt he held before. I mean, nowadays he's wrestling primarily in the States now, right? In Impact and now AEW.
Yeah, he lives in Florida, so
makes sense.
Yeah, you see him at the Florida taping, at Impact, and then he was at the Nashville one. And then he had to defend his belt, and then he had lost it. So yeah, again,
if I remember correctly, right now Evil's the never openweight champion again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jay White dropped it to
that big dude.
Ishitomo.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love these guys. Sometimes I can't pronounce their names for shit.
Right there with
Ishii Tomohiro.
Yeah,
is that his name?
I think so.
He lost it to Tomohiro, and then dropped it to Evo at Wrestle Kingdom 16. They won, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And currently resides with Evo. I mean, I don't really hate sorry to interrupt you. I don't hate the belt. It's just that, the design. Yeah. I have a few gripes with it. That's all.
No, for sure. Brandon, do you have anything else you want to say about the belt?
No.
Okay, let's move on to the newest addition to this belt, the Strong Openweight title. This is, of course, what they're doing in LA, I believe, the LA dojo. The Strong show they're having here in the US. Yeah, I don't really like it, to be honest. Is it well made? Sure, but design-wise, it's very plain in my opinion. It's very cartoony, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe I'm going crazy, but to me, it's very cartoony. It's very lazy almost. I don't know. Maybe this is what New Japan asked for. I know Japan, they designed the V5. Maybe they designed this too. I just don't like it. No hate for Dan. I mean, good maker, but personally, I just don't like the design. It's just the big New Japan Strong logo, and that's it. Openweight champion, a few lines, and that's it. I feel like they could have done way more with this. Side plates, hella plain. It's literally just the New Japan logo in a circle. I don't like it. The big jewel at the top looks kind of weird, out of place. I don't really like it. The open weight text seems kind of weird as gold. I feel like it would have been better as silver, but yeah, I don't. I'm not a huge fan of this. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, my opinion is just we got another open weight championship, but I guess exclusively for the American shows. I mean, one of the few saved races. I still like the lion logo. I mean, it's all over. You see 3 of them on this belt, I believe. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of 3-plate designs, but this is what it is. Just just a huge logo, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very. It reminds me of like what WWE's doing, like just a big logo, and everyone's bashing WWE for doing it, and no one's talking about how this is literally the same. But
well, the thing is with all the modern WWE logos, they're just corporate logos on belts nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the same design on 4 belts.
Yeah.
The Universal, the Heavyweight, and both women's belts.
Yeah, no. This is just
Unimaginative.
that just looks like
That's
the
my
logo.
that's
To me,
my
that just
thing.
looks like a JPEG of the logo, and then it's like, there you go, that's a belt. What do you think, Brandon?
I think it's stupid. That's all. I think it's
That's all?
stupid.
Okay. Solid argument. Let's move on to the Ring of Honor belts. Start off with the World Television Title version 1. Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, I always thought I liked it because like nostalgia, seeing all the people I used to watch Ring of Honor around this time, and seeing everyone win this belt. Looking back at it, it's a fucking weird design. Really weird. I'm so conflicted. Like I saw a picture. I was looking at it when I was making this presentation, and it's such a weird. I don't know, weird design. Like the main plate looks like a fucking pill. I don't like that. And then it just goes from that huge pill to these like almost like pyramid, not a pyramid, but like a very triangular shape. Um, and then the little square side plates. The only thing I like on this belt are the two farthest side plates. I like that. That's it. There's two inner side plates. It's such a weird shape. The main plate, it's kind of cool. I just don't like the shape of it. I like I like how it's stacked, Ring of Honor World Television Champion, but again, I can't get over the shape and how like weird it is. And the thing is, it never looked good on anyone. I mean, around the waist, no. Over the shoulder, no. Holding it up, no. So to me, it's from nostalgia wise, of course, I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for this belt. But like objectively looking at the design, not for me. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I would say main plate looks weird, but I've seen some older championships that look like that, so it's not out of the it's uh not out of the blue for this to be to emulate the motor belts.
Yeah.
That being said, you like you said, you're right. Doesn't look really. It didn't look that great when anyone held it on in their waist or their shoulder. I mean, one of the few things this belt has going for it is it's just the ROH logo on it, on the side plates and on the main plate.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, but other than that, I wasn't a huge fan of this design.
Yeah, no, not a huge fan. Brandon, what do you think?
It looks like they took the WWF Attitude Era tag team belt and they took like the little bottom part of the world and underneath it.
That's wow. It
Yeah.
reminds me of the classic the lower banner and the world. Yeah, wow.
I can't see that now.
Can't believe I overlooked that. I mean, well, they put instead of tag teams,
And it
television.
looks real original, huh?
Right.
Thing is, I don't know.
Modern
Yours,
TNA tags.
I don't know.
So
I
you
like that
so you
better.
see where they got that idea from. I won't
Well,
mention
this
any
came
names.
first.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, it's just what I just mentioned. But other than that, yeah, that's it.
Indifferent. Yeah. Let's move on to the version 2. Thing is, I don't like the modern Ring of Honor belts because they all look very similar in design. I don't like that, especially the tags and the world titles. Talk about when we went over the Ring of Honor titles. I don't like how they all look very similar. That being said, I do think it's an improvement. But I don't like it that much. The side looks so weird. Like the little scrolls going on the sides, it looks like it has like warts on the side, or it's like growing something on the sides. That looks so weird. I don't like that. Main plate's okay. I don't mind it. I like the shade of red they used. Wildcat did a decent job on this. Leather looks good on it, so respect to them for that. It's better than the other one, but again, I'm not a huge fan of it. The text, the font on the side plates looks so weird. You can barely read champion. Um, I'm indifferent. I don't like it too much. It's fine. What do you think, Kevin?
Much better than the first version. But I'm not a huge fan of this one as well. The side these days, since we know what the world kind of looks like, the side on the world map on the side plates don't do it for me. I don't like the Mercator map. I think that's what they call it. Because we know that Africa is much bigger than Greenland. Well, when it comes to maps, I'm a geography freak. I mean, when you when you know that Greenland is much smaller than Africa, that's just one of the few things that gets me on the side plates. I just don't like the world map on them. Barring that, I like the champion banner here, the television and the champion banner.
Mm-hmm.
I like the stars. Reminds me of Chicago. I guess they're repping CM Punk there. I think. Much better than the first version, but not by much.
No, not by much. Brandon, what do you think?
Just they got a lot going on there. Just there's so much detail to it, and it's like, what are they trying to accomplish there? I don't know. So, you have the world, the globe, and then you have the side plates. Make up your mind. How many worlds you want on there. But yeah, I'm not a really big fan of it. I know a couple people that I've seen some people that have in their collection. It is a fixed belt. So if you're a collector, you're gonna, and you want all the figs, you're gonna get it. But yeah, I'm not really sold on it at all.
Yeah. Sorry, it's an okay belt. I would never get this, to be honest. I just don't have interest in it. Yeah. Moving on to the Ring of Honor Pure Title. This, of course, is similar design or same design as the classic Ring of Honor title, which I like. I love how this fits the theme of the Pure division, I guess, if you want to call it that. Classic silver plates. I love that. This looks completely different than the other titles. This stands out to me so much because the tag, the women's, the television, they all kind of just like world. They all kind of blend in. They're all like ton of black paint and gold and weird globes. Not it for me. This just stands out for me as a unique design. Of course, it's the classic design, and I love that. I've always talked about how much I love silver plates, and it's not done too much. Of course, Impact does it now, which I love with the X Division titles, but it's not done that much. But it looks great on this belt. Makes the red pop oh so much. That Ring of Honor logo looks beautiful. The Pure logo looks wonderful with the grapplers there. Enough black paint. Leather looks wonderful. Well done. I love it. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, like I said, I also love the silver plates here. I like the old school ROH design in the side plates. This belt always reminds me of the older the first ROH World Championship. I mean, I like also love with the center plate. You don't see too often that there's an emphasis on wrestling when it comes to the two guys in the middle in the main plate, and that's one of the big things I'm a fan of right there.
Yeah.
The leather looks great on this belt.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I may not be a huge fan of three platers, but this is one of the few that gets an exception from me.
Oh yeah, I love this.
When it comes to that.
Yeah, if you could change one thing about this belt, what would it be?
I don't think there's much that needs changing. Does it need a do we need to see a globe? Maybe I will put it. Like I said, it looks okay as a 3-plater. Do we need the extra 2? I don't know.
Yeah.
If I were to add, maybe if there were an extra 2 plates, there'd be some globe or another logo.
Yeah. For me, I'd try
Other
and
than that, the
since
championship looks fine by itself. It's one of the better design belts, in my opinion.
oh yeah, no, if I had to change, if I had to, because if it was my choice, I wouldn't change anything. But if I had to change something, it would be like maybe integrate some of the like a ring into the design somehow. Maybe in the side plates or in the main plate, add a bit of a ring or maybe some
Yeah,
ring ropes or something.
could use the ring.
Just to
Yeah,
exemplify like the pure design. I think it would make sense. All right. So let's give Brandon a second. I'll cut this out
sure.
in editing. So don't worry. That's why we pre-recorded. So I can cut this out. We'll wait till Brandon comes back. Okay, there he is. Brandon, what do you think of the Ring of Honor Pure design?
I actually love this belt. The way, like you said, the classic look to it definitely brings, that pure look to it. So, I'm a big fan of it. Love it. But yeah, that's about it. Love it.
If you had to change something about the belt, what would it be? Or would you just keep it the same?
Maybe the wrestlers have a little more. Oh no, wait, no, they're pretty good. Maybe red leather on the back.
That look cool. Like a red backing.
Yeah.
No,
Other
that'd be
than
nice.
that, looks good.
Oh yeah. Let's move on to Impact. This is of course your forte. This is the reason you're here. Let's start off with the X Division title. Now, we're not going to go over the TNA and the Global Force Wrestling, all of that. That will be for a future episode. Today, we're just going to go over the Impact titles. Start off with the blue X Division Impact title, and I love this belt. I really do. I am, I'm not a huge. I'll be honest. I'm not a huge Impact fan. I don't watch Impact too much. I mean, I only really watch AEW like properly. So, but Impact, I love their belts right now. This screams X Division, huge X on the back. It looks beautiful, blue X. That owl, of course, looks nice. Leather looks wonderful. Side plates, I love that design, almost like the AEW, where it's like folding, almost like a puzzle, and it clicks in. I love that. The blue on this looks so damn good. That blue paint just looks amazing. Then we're gonna go over the red version next. I prefer the blue. I'll just say it right now. I prefer the blue 100%. Shaded blue just pops. It looks so good with the silver plates. The black paint looks nice too. I love it. What do you think, Kevin?
I like this this belt also. I mean, I like the blue paint. The spell this with the X, it screams X Division, like you said. I think it's one of the one of the best designs of the X Division Championship in its history. I would say, with the exception of probably either the original or the mid 2000s or early 2010s version.
Mm-hmm.
But I do always like blue, and I will prefer this one over the red design. But overall, yeah, big fan of this version.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think, Brandon?
Well, me, I love this belt. I've helped design this belt for a lot of the Impact wrestlers. One of my first customers was Ace Austin. He is the one of the only ones that have won the blue and the red version. So what we did for him is we made him half red, half blue. Turned out really great. I don't know if anybody saw that on my Instagram, but beautiful belt. He loved it. We also put his logo in the leather, so that turned out really good. But yeah, everybody that's held this belt: Chris Bay, current champion Trey Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
So again, Ace Austin. This belt has definitely touched some valuable hands. Not to mention Josh Alexander. So your fellow Canadian there.
For sure.
So great belt. Top Rope Belts did a great job designing this. But yeah, it's definitely a top 10 belt for me.
For sure. No, it's a great design. Let's move on to the red version. Same design. You can see in better lighting here. I just don't like the shade of red they used. It's cool. Maybe it's the lighting. It's almost like orange-ish. Maybe in person looks better. I just don't like the shade of red they used. I prefer the blue one. Nothing against this though. Well, the current one looks fucking nice, dude. I would still own this one, especially like the world title, the red world title. I love that. But for me, I think for mid card title, the blue matches it a bit better. I don't know why. In my head, red is more important than blue, so it doesn't make sense at all. But for me, the red makes more sense for the world title, and the blue makes more sense for the mid card. I do get why they're doing red uniform for all the titles. I just prefer the blue. That being said, the red still is nice. What do you think, Kevin?
Well, similar to the last championship, I would say that you know, I would say the X just reminds me. I mean, it being red reminds me of the earlier designs of this championship. I like the X's there because represents the X division. Uh, uh, I believe that's is that an owl? Yeah, I think that's an
It's
owl on the
Anthem
top,
Owl,
right?
yeah.
Just to rep uh the
Anthem
company
Owl, yeah.
that bought TNA for the time being. That's
Yeah, it's the Anthem.
right. It's on most of the belts. Forget about that. But I like the blue version better, but the red makes it pop fine here.
Oh yeah, for sure. What do you think, Brandon?
I'm a fan of it. It's nickel plating, so that's like actually like what it looks like right now. It's just pretty beat to shit.
Yeah,
The
they should.
leather,
Sorry to cut you off, but they need a replacement. But continue.
the leather sucks on it. That's why they're not going with them anymore. So it's like I said, it's a nice looking belt, but the wear and tear on it, they weren't expecting it to be such bad, looking at this earliest stage of it with the leather, and it really doesn't get beat up a lot. They take pretty good care of it. Trey Miguel takes care of his belt. Ace Austin took care of his. So that's what you're seeing. A lot of them hit me up to have their replica made so that they can carry that one around instead of the ring used one.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah, good belt.
no, you can even tell there, like by the right side plate, you can see the indent that it makes on the leather. Like they could have filed down that edge a bit more, just so it doesn't indent more. But whatever, it is what it is. Let's move on to the digital media title. This one, of course, is a very new title. Um, uh, I'm very conflicted by its design. It's very weird. When I first saw it, I was so confused. Let me just get this out of the way. The name is so weird, in my opinion. Digital media champion, like what the fuck? Like, just say like internet or like I feel like internet champion just sounds way better. Or hell, television, digital media is just kind of weird. It is unique though. No one else is a digital media champion. But the design itself, very reminiscent to the AEW title. Of course, you can see by the shape that it's almost like a puzzle. Main plate though is very wide. I wish it was more tall, like the AEW, but that's just my opinion. I do like the wiring though, how it kind of looks like a circuit board. Um, this does not scream wrestling to me though. This is almost like if I saw this belt and I didn't know what it was, I would not think it was wrestling. But it's kind of cool design. I like the intricate like the wiring or like it looks like a circuit board almost. The stones look beautiful, the red stones. They pop, especially with that red Impact logo. Dual plated, I love always, of course. The leather cut is it's decent, I guess. Yeah. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, when I first saw this championship, I kind of got vibes from it looks like it's a combination of the AEW title and some other belt,
Mm-hmm.
like a women's championship belt. I thought that this was if they're going with digital media, it shouldn't have been called like a social media championship. But then again, it's not like this championship's being defended only on being defended on TV.
Yeah.
It's not like it's being defended online or some shit. The Impact logo looks fine in the center plate. I do like the dual plate. Red rubies, the red stones are. I do like the digital board. It's like something you'd see on a computer chip. But
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not a technical savvy guy. I don't know what you call it exactly, but I'm like that. I get where they're going with this design. You know, that's what I think there.
Oh yeah. What do you think, Brandon? Of course, you have the belt with you. Go ahead, give us your opinion on it.
Well, all right, I'll give you the rundown on this. So this was made by Z-Bros. Impact paid $1,400 for it.
Wow.
It's they're based out of Philadelphia, but it's two brothers that run Z-Bros. But they are Pakistan plates. They just put it on their leather. This belt is actually small than what it appears. I actually got a picture of it last night, the actual title from referee Daniel Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me a picture of the title because it was in his duffel bag. And for what they paid for it, I mean, it's okay. But this is defended, by Cordona. They do have a show on Tuesdays that you have to be a subscriber to watch it. They're pretty good matches. It's just pretty much like the pre-show before Impact and before BTI. It's called Before the Impact. They do one match, before Impact starts at 7. But yeah, I mean, as I look at it, Impact fans like it because it's a different title. So, the whole, I call it the Matrix board. It has that Matrix vibe to it. So when Josh had the idea of making this title, he figured digital media would be all platforms of social media.
Yeah.
So because digitally, so.
All right, it makes sense. I don't know. I felt like this could have been like the internet championship or the social media championship. But if it's for what you call, the exclusive digital media, then yeah, that's the right name to go for it. Go for this
it makes sense. It's just like it just sounds weird.
It does, and like I said, it's grown on people. It's grown on me. Especially being involved with Impact. And that's the thing. Also, they're not making it just for the male. It's an intergender belt.
Yeah, so, that's cool.
Right.
Yeah, no, we were talking about it before the show, and that's really cool how they're doing the intergender belt.
Yeah, and you're not seeing too many organizations do that.
No.
So,
yeah, it's so far, the inaugural champion was a woman, Jordan. I don't know if I said that right.
Yeah,
Jordan Grace. And then Cardona beat her for it. I mean, these days, the closest thing we have to the old school hardcore belt, the 24/7 belt, That can go to
Yeah.
a man or a woman.
That's a joke, though.
Yeah, I know it's a parody, but still, it's.
I mean, you're having a pretty prolific wrestler, Jonathan Gresham's wife. She's well known and she's, extremely talented. So, her being that first, ever digital media champion, I thought was a great idea, in itself. But yeah, I mean, I give it a 7, I guess, if you want to put it on a scale, rectrum there. But I don't like it's kind of like a minor league of the AEW championship.
Yeah. It's like the AEW Junior.
Yeah. Well, it is a lower card championship, in my opinion.
Yeah, but like I think you shouldn't be able to tell that it's a lower card. Like when you see it, you shouldn't be like, oh, that's probably second or third place. No, you should be like, oh, that's a nice belt. Not like that looks like a kid's belt or something,
Yeah, no, I agree. And then like I said, it is smaller than what it appears. Mm-hmm. Mine is I believe like an inch or 2 inches width bigger, just because I have all the exact measurements of the belts, but I just didn't like how it didn't feel right. It felt like the light heavyweight championship.
Yeah, that piece of shit. No, I agree. Let's move on to replicas, though. You mentioned the light heavyweight. God forbid. Thankfully, that's not on tonight. Let's go over the official IWGP IC title. This is a piece of shit replica. Let me be honest. We talked about it before the show. And listen, the design, I talked about it. I love the design. The replica, though, please. It's so stupid. So the thing is, the actual belt itself was made by Dave Milliken originally. And then after Tetsuya Naito beat the shit out of that belt, destroyed it, they had to get a new one. And they decided to go with a bootleg maker, someone in Pakistan. I don't know who, so don't quote me on this. And he did a pretty shit job, to be honest. You can see it on the main plate specifically. The main plate is flat as fuck. Zero curve. And then the banners and the IWGP is not stacked as it should be. The lion logo, not stacked at all. The stone holders, not stacked. The etching looks good. It's clean. It's crisp, but it's just not the correct artwork. They based the artwork for this replica on the bootleg, which is a shame. It honestly is a shame. New Japan's done such great belts. The IWGP 4 is one of the best replicas. Of course, Kevin, you're getting that sometime soon. But this is just so disappointing. At least the side plates are domed. If they did it flat, that would have been complete dog shit. But it's just disappointing. If anything, it's probably better than the actual belt that they used until the end of its reign. But no, for $2,000, I think, or like $1,000, whatever, like close to $2,000.
I'm iffy on getting this one myself. Yeah, you're right. So the main plate is flat as hell. It looks like a fucking pancake. At least the sides, they kept the dome on the sides, but that's one of the few saving graces of this replica. I'm getting the V4 first. And you know me, I love my official replicas. And if I don't know if I'll get this one, but I mean, if it's on the list, why not? But I'm not in a rush to get this one, so I could tell you.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, nothing against it. If you want to go and get this belt, go ahead. I just think, like, close to $2,000 USD for this belt is not worth it. For the IWGP 4, now wealth is like worth is subjective. Like that is not like my stance to say, but I think like $2,000 for this belt is just not worth it at all. Especially if you see what the V4 is like, and then you compare to this, the inactions aren't worth it. No, I wouldn't pay this much for this belt. What do you think, Brendan?
I've seen better makers produce this belt, so just the way it looks. But I mean, if it's a replica, then like you say, you gotta have it. If I were to go back to collecting Jay White, because I had a Jay White collection going of all the belts he won, and I did have a IC in my possession, and it was a beautiful belt. But now, if I were to recollect them, I would have to save some pennies to get the replicas. So, that'd be something later on down the line if I probably wanted to change, get rid of, maybe these and, get, go to that. But I don't see that happening.
No.
So, maybe if I win the lottery one day, I'll purchase all those.
Yeah. No, if I had the money for $2,000, I'm just going to Classic Shields. Classic Shields is going to make a 100 times better belt than this. And I know a lot of people, Rob, I know he's hurting it at home when he's watching, and he's like, and even Kevin, maybe a feudal only for officials. And I understand where you're coming from. Me personally,
Well, I have heard of Classic Shields, and I heard that they take so long to ship, to make or ship a belt to you, and I don't feel that it's worth. If they don't feel like they're going to communicate or talk with you throughout that whole process, then I don't feel that it's worth waiting that long.
Yeah,
I heard a guy waited a year and a half before he finally got.
That's nothing. Belt. I see people wait 2 years. Don't get me wrong;
those guys make great looking belts. I briefly considered if I wasn't going to get the version off of Good Smile Shop, I might have considered trying to go for Classic Shields, but if those guys feel like if they make we make good belts, but but it'll be a year or two before you get your belt. I'm like, well, what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, it's different for everyone. You just got to know what you're waiting, like what you're like going into. Like, just know if you're gonna buy a Classic Shields, it's an investment. You're paying a lot of money, but also know it's gonna take a long ass time. And if you want to sell it, it's almost like a fig zinc. You can sell it for a decent amount because a lot of people are willing to pay a lot of money just to not wait. Like that's the thing with the Classic Shields. They're starting to hold their value now, but it is rough how you have to wait close to a year or even more than a year for a belt. Now let's move on to the. Oh, sorry, Brandon. Did you go over this belt? You good? Okay. Let's move on to the Ring of Honor Television Title V1 Fake Zinc. Again, I don't love the belt, but replica-wise, it's a great replica. Rare as hell now. It's so sad that 5 years ago or something like that, when they were selling these for dirt cheap, this won the tag in the world. I'm so sad I didn't pick them up because they're worth so much money now and they're so rare. Yeah, well-made replica. Don't love the design, but if you love the design, it's a great replica. What do you think, Kevin?
Looks like a very good replica. I'm still not a huge fan of it myself, but you are right though, as far as they're going for a lot of money now. I think even the classic, the old school version of the ROH World Championship is going for $400 to $500. I'm like, damn. Several years ago, I bought that shit for $200, and
yeah,
regretfully, I sold it also at one point. Now that even if it's back on my list of belts to get, I don't know if it's worth paying that much for it, knowing what I used to have before.
Yeah, no, it's being sold for a ton. Brandon, what do you think of the Fake Zinc Ring of Honor Television Title V1?
Looks like just I don't know. It looks different than the ring used one. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. Like I said, it looks like the Impact Tag Team Championship. So I don't know. Hard pass.
Hard pass. All right, let's move on to the V2 Now, this is specifically the Fake Zinc one, not the shit one made, the first version. They had a first line with the current ones made, the world, the television, the tags, and it was dog shit. I mean, I don't remember what company it was, but the plates were shit. Shit quality plates, painting, shit paint quality, plating issues, strap issues, just the overall shit replica. Thankfully, they moved over to Fake Zinc now, and it's a well-made replica. That being said, I'm not getting this anytime soon, nor will I in the future. Don't like the design too much. It's better than the first one, but not for me. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, it looks okay on in the picture, but I wouldn't really go out of my way to get this one myself. That's all I got to say about this one.
Yeah, Brandon, what do you think about it?
I'm gonna have to concur there with you there, old Vader. So yeah, hard pass.
Yeah, no, looks like nobody's getting this belt in the future. Now that does bring us to the end of the podcast. Before we go, though, guys, please make sure to check out Belt Addicts Anonymous. Of course, we're all admins there. Great group. If you're looking to collect belts, buy belts, show off belts, just talk to people about belts, look for information, anything, just go ahead, check it out. Make sure, though, you're filling out all the questions before you enter, or you're not going to be let in. It's just a precaution. We're trying to be a drama-free group. Like, there's a bunch of shit going on right now in all the other groups.
Oh, you got one too? Sorry,
it's just too much. No
No.
worries. It's too much drama. So we're trying to be a neutral zone, no drama, just belts. So yeah, before we leave though, we do finish off the podcast with an over-the-shoulder part. So guys, grab your belts, put them over the shoulders, and we'll show off what we got. Let's start with Brandon. Brandon, what do you have over your shoulder?
I have one of my newly purchased AEW replica championships.
Got that one over my shoulder too.
Awesome. I like it. You know, it's
may not be a huge fan of McMahon, but that's another story together.
Yep, likewise.
Kevin, what do you have over your shoulder?
I have the scratch logo white Intercontinental Championship. The one, not the exact version that Cody introduced in 2011, but I was always a fan of this scratch logo IC, and I thought that for the podcast, why not? Let's rock one of the best mid-card championships over the shoulder.
Hell yeah, that's beauty. And I know Rob's hurt inside because he wants that belt. It's okay, Rob. You get it. You'll get it someday.
I hope he gets it.
My over the shoulder, I have actually two belts of the Big Eagle and the Big Gold. The reason I have these, of course, the undisputed titles before they introduced the Undisputed Championship. And that is because next episode, we'll be going over the Undisputed Championship. We're redoing that episode, versions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that'll be a big episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.